Bienvenidos, yo soy Fo y esto es una entrevista para WMP y hoy tengo como invitados a Bob y Alex de Franz Ferdinand. Guys, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And well, first of all, let me tell you, I'm very pleased to have you once again in Mexico City. We were just having a small talk about how many times have you been here in the city, and well, it's your fifth time, and I just need to ask you something about this. So many visits. Which one would you consider as the I don't know how to explain it. The must-have stop when you come to Mexico City, besides playing, of course.
I don't know. I like to do new things. You know, like I'm hoping today after the interview I can go somewhere I've not been before. You know, I went up to Diego Rivera's house, up to Trotsky's house. A couple of years ago, I drove around the Yucatan, and I like to go to the markets and take lots of things home with me for my kitchen, because it's harder to find good Mexican ingredients when you're. What about you, Bob?
I might go on a bus tour. I think. Do you recommend any?
Oh yeah, of course. If you like going to markets, something like that, I would recommend you to. Have you ever been to Coyoacán? It's a little bit towards the south, and it's a little bit too crowded. But it's there's also this central square where you can there's a cathedral, and there are so many places that you need to know.
Can you write it down for me after the interview?
Of course.
Thanks.
You can count on me. I want to ask you, you're one of the most elegant acts nowadays. What's the style inspiration, and how is it related to the personality of the band?
I think with our design and with the visual side of the band, we try and represent what we're doing with the music. So have like pure, bold, simple ideas that are very strong, and so we try and use a limited palette so that they're blocks of colour. In the same way with our melodies, we try and make our melodies powerful and simple.
Bob, I think that Franz Ferdinand is one of the bands that one of the few bands that as a guy I would consider to take a girl to see a show. Yeah, there's a couple of reasons why. There's music to bands. I think that there's a criminal instinct behind the sounds of band, and there's a right amount of brilliance, of course, in a show, and the lyrics and the music. How would you sum up this idea? You know, if you were taking a girl to a concert.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Yeah, I think that we managed to encapsulate the four of us together, the perfect man, and that would impress any woman.
Because you could then transfer that perfect man onto yourself, and she would think that was you.
Oh, well, he obviously thinks that these guys are cool, therefore he must be cool, because they are very cool.
Who came with the idea of this arrow being the most important sign for this?
That was Alex.
Yeah,
starting a bit of paper. It was pretty as it was really on this sketch.
I mean, it's a very positive idea. Like, we wanted to have something that represented the band moving forward, and naturally, well, those of us who read from left to right, the arrows are moving forwards. You know, left to right is forwards, just the way we're used to reading, and so it seemed like the most positive, forward-thinking representation I could get onto a page, and then having the Franz Ferdinand arrow going the other way was just to show that we're contrary.
You're very careful about the artworks and the concepts, the visual concepts and the visual ideas. And I seem to find that this is a constant in your work. Is there some sort of fascination with Russia for Franz Ferdinand?
I think that whole kind of Russian sort of avant-garde artwork were obviously inspired a lot of our early artwork. Kind of the Russian aesthetic of that, but I mean, we have very broad tastes. It covers a lot of things.
Guys, thank you so much for this conversation, and of course I will write down this Coyoacán recommendation for you to visit in Mexico City, and thank you so much. Gracias por la entrevista. Esto fue Franz Ferdinand para WMP.